adverts and documentaries, visit our dedicated desks at Huduma Center GPO, Times Square, Makadara, Kibera, or Eastleigh. Tunakungoja hapo. Whether it's a casual announcement or a specialized media solution for your business, we are here to serve you. KBC at Huduma Centers, moving closer to you. Your station, your service.
Welcome to Lunchtime News. I'm Jackie Wambiru. Our sign language interpreter is Lensa Odingo. Here are the top stories this hour. Police have denied claims of being involved in enforced disappearances and torture. The police force says it's committed to accountability and transparency and takes the claims seriously. The police are calling on anyone with information on specific allegations of violation of Kenyan rights to report immediately in any police station. In a statement, the police say all reports will be investigated thoroughly with professionalism, impartiality, and expeditiously in accordance with the law. Security officers in Shauriako area in Rangwe constituency, Homa Bay County, have arrested 40 suspects in a security operation to weed out a criminal gang known as Rock Boys following persistent insecurity in the area. Homa Bay County Commissioner Ronald Mwiwabi said the gang, aged between 16 and 19 years, expressed concern over the increasing involvement of teenagers in criminal activities and reaffirmed the government's commitment to restoring security in the area. According to police, the gang members, who have dropped out of school and were facing active court cases, including robbery with violence, operated at night, taking advantage of dark and lit corridors to target people walking home.
You're still very young. You still have a future. Say no to being recruited into goons. Say no to being recruited into gangs. Take that energy to class. Take a pen. Take a book. Sit down. Listen to your teachers. The future belongs to you. You need to protect it. You need to take care of it. Avoid people who are going to waste you. And as a security team, we will not sleep. We will not sleep. We will crack down all the criminal gangs. We will crack down all the gangs.
The Ministry of Education has officially announced the elevation of Maasai Girls High School from C2 to C1 status, making it fully recognized national school. Education Principal Secretary John Ololture, while officially opening the school's new principal office, commended both students and teachers for maintaining high levels of discipline in the wake of school unrest. It's during the event that the school also received its official land title deed from the Narok County Governor Patrick Ole Ntutu, who welcomed the school's elevation, describing it as a major milestone. The school's principal, Cecilia Teker, expressed optimism about the school's academic performance this year.
Nataka kuchukua fursa hii kupongeza mwalimu mkuu pamoja na board yake na walimu kwa ile kazi nzuri ambaye mumefanya katika hii shule. From the report I've gotten, it is very clear that you qualify for C1. Yeah, you qualify.
Niko tu na ombi moja kama gavana wa kaunti hii ya kwamba hii shule wamekuwa wakituita extra county school, na hiyo Hiyo sasa tunataka wewe, kwa sababu wewe umesaliwa kwa hii kaunti, wewe ndio unaweka signature ya kusema ya kwamba hii shule itoke kwa extra county school to national school. Tunaomba leo vile umeanza kazi leo hapa Masai Girls, wewe uweke leo hiyo signature, usitoka hapa. Nimeona director education ili tupandishe hii shule iwe national school.
So far we've had an improvement of 1.2. Last year tukaweza kupeleka 164 girls to the university, na this year tumeweka target ya 7.79, so we are still hopeful that this year will take over 200 girls to the university.
An American and Irish investor has appealed to the local investigative agencies and the United States Embassy in Nairobi to intervene in what he described as an elaborate fraud scheme that allegedly cost him property and assets worth 89 million shillings. Joel Fitzpatrick has asked the authorities to investigate the matter. Let's have a look at the story.
It is premeditated, that her daughters are involved, that her church are involved, that other people are involved. They said they will prosecute her and that I will get all my assets and money and possessions back in due course.
We want justice to be done, everything to be transparent, the police to take action.
The government must act firmly, decisively to stop this kind of fraud so that we don't have sudden capital flight from Kenya from foreign investors who are being defrauded by our people in Kenya.
In other news, the Kakamega County government has partnered with the Council of Elders to boost the registration of senior citizens in the Social Health Authority scheme, improving access to healthcare in rural areas. The campaign targets elderly residents who have not yet enrolled in SHA, ensuring they can access affordable medical services and reducing deaths linked to poor access to healthcare. Speaking during a meeting with the Abishirotsa Council of Elders in Butere County, the Chief Health Officer, Dr. Alila, said community health officers will work closely with elders to drive grassroots awareness and support registration.
SHA inafanya kazi. Nimeona wale wenye SHA imesaidia. Mtu anakuja ni surgery, bill ni 1120, SHA inalipa. Kwa hivyo mimi naeleza watu wetu waendelee kulipa bima ya SHA. Warejeste.
The problem is not on the county government of Kakamega. The problem, how we look at it as a clan, is actually the information does not actually go down to the community, to the grassroots level.
Facilities ambazo zinahitajika kuhakikisha kwamba magonjwa ambayo yako hasa kwa watu wazee kama sisi yanashughulikiwa.
Deputy Inspector General Gilbert Masengeli has challenged parents and guardians to play an active role in guiding their children. Masengeli said parents should be the first teacher and must be actively involved in shaping their children's character, setting firm boundaries and supporting the school when action is taken in cases of indiscipline. The parents have forgotten their responsibility on instilling discipline and values in the society. The DIG also challenged youth to desist from all acts of violence and focus on becoming local and global leaders capable of shaping the political, economic and social landscape.
I want to talk to the parents. Mumesahau jukumu lenu. Tumesahau jukumu letu. Let us take charge of our children, teach them the right way of the Lord. When you teach them the way to respect and obey God, they'll never go wrong. You spare the rod, you spoil the child. Toto, waheshimu wazazi katika Bwana, kwa sababu hiyo ndio amri pekee yake iko na ahadi. Si ndio? Respect your parents so that your days may be more. Sisi kama polisi hatuna mambo mengi, ni kuhakikisha wewe usalama wako, uhai wako na mali yako. Upende tutakulinda, usipende tutakulinda.
Now, President William Ruto is Monday commissioning the newly completed Ngong Road, Naivasha Road flyover in Nairobi, a major infrastructure project expected to transform mobility along one of the capital's busiest transport corridors. We now take you live to the commissioning ceremony.
Mimi niko na taarifa hapa ya kusoma, lakini baadaye tutaongea kama watu wa Nairobi, sivyo? Let me say the following. Ladies and gentlemen, every great city reaches a moment when its ambition begins to outgrow its infrastructure. Nairobi reached that moment many years ago. For too long, congestion has imposed a heavy cost on our economy and on the daily lives of our people. It has delayed workers on their way to earning a living, increased the cost of doing business, kept traders away from customers, and taken precious time away from families. Congestion is not merely a transport challenge. It is an economic challenge. Every hour lost in traffic is an hour of productivity forfeited, income delayed, and opportunity diminished. That is why we are here today. The Ngong Road, Naivasha Road flyover is a strategic investment in the efficiency, productivity, and competitiveness of our capital city. This Kenya shillings 3.8 billion project removes one of Nairobi's most persistent traffic bottlenecks by separating traffic, improving safety for motorists, pedestrians, and cyclists alike, and restoring the strong movement of people and the smooth movement of goods along one of city's most transport corridors and busiest corridors. This is what modern infrastructure should do. Reduce travel time, lower the cost of transport, improve road safety, and make cities work better for everyone. I wish to express my very sincere appreciation to our friends, the government and people of Spain, for their partnership in financing this important project. It is a partnership founded on mutual respect and a shared commitment to Kenya's development. Ladies and gentlemen, today's commissioning is not the end of a journey. It is part of a much larger transformation taking place across our city of Nairobi. Just a short distance from here, construction of the Upper Hill Kenyatta Avenue Viaduct, a Kenya shillings 3 billion investment, is now 60% complete around the All Saints Cathedral. Once finished, it will significantly improve access into the central business district and ease congestion across one of the city's busiest commercial zones. Equally, we have commenced the upgrading of State House Road through a 1.6 billion investment that will modernize another strategic transport corridor. At the same time, we are building access roads to Talanta Sports City through a Kenya shillings 3.9 billion investment, ensuring that Kenya is ready to host the Africa Cup of Nations next year with infrastructure that is world-class and reflects our standing and ambition as a city. To the north of the corridor, we are preparing a dualing of 23.5 kilometers Kiambu Road corridor from Muthaiga to Kiambu and its bypasses in a US $221 million, Kenya shillings 30 billion investment. This project will unlock faster movement of people and goods while opening Nairobi's northern metropolitan region to greater investment, housing, and commercial development. Together, these projects are systematically removing the transport bottlenecks that have restrained the growth of our capital city for decades. But building more roads alone is no longer enough. 21st century cities must also move intelligently. That is why we are implementing Nairobi's intelligent transport system, one of the most significant investments in smart urban mobility on the continent. The first phase, covering 25 signaled junctions and a modern traffic management center, is valued at US $60 million, approximately 7.9 billion Kenya shillings, and is already under construction. The second phase will expand the system to 60 additional junctions through an investment of 13 billion Kenya shillings. The third phase, valued at 24 billion, will extend intelligent traffic management to another 125 junctions in our city. Upon completion, more than 210 junctions across Nairobi will operate through a coordinated real-time traffic management system that optimizes traffic flows, improves road safety, and significantly reduces travel time around our city. This is how, ladies and gentlemen, modern cities work. Not simply by building more roads, but by making every kilometer of infrastructure work smarter and more efficiently. Our vision extends beyond major highways. Through the Nairobi Urban Regeneration Program, we are undertaking one of the most ambitious urban road improvement programs in our nation's history. Today, 729 kilometers of urban roads are under routine maintenance. We are rehabilitating and upgrading 62 kilometers of road under phase 1 that is almost complete, which is already 85% complete at a cost of 1.9 billion. A further 59 kilometers will be upgraded under phase 2 through an investment of 1.7 billion. Phase 3 will deliver another 45 kilometers of road at an estimate of 2.5 billion. Our objective is straightforward. Every ward in Nairobi should benefit from modern, reliable road infrastructure. Development cannot be reserved for a few neighborhoods, while others are left behind. Every Kenyan deserves safe roads, better access, and equal opportunity. We are equally strengthening Nairobi's resilience through a shillings 2 billion drainage improvement program that will reduce flooding and protect homes, businesses, and critical infrastructure during periods of heavy rainfall. And that program already has been agreed between the city of Nairobi and the government of Kenya to make sure that that happens. Mobility is the foundation upon which modern cities are built. When transport is efficient, businesses become more competitive. Investors gain confidence, and goods reach markets faster. Workers spend more time creating value than sitting in traffic. Families reclaim time that would otherwise be lost on the road. That is why these investments matter. They are not simply investments in roads. They are investments in economic growth, productivity, competitiveness, and a better quality of life in our city. We will continue building infrastructure that support enterprise, attract investments, and prepare Nairobi for the demands of a rapidly growing economy. We are determined to build a capital city that is efficient, that is connected, resilient, and globally competitive. A city worth of Kenya's place as an economic gateway to East Africa. I thank you very much for your attention. Asanteni sana. Nairobi hoye! Nairobi hoye!
Well, that is President William Ruto commissioning the newly completed Ngong Road, Naivasha Road flyover in Nairobi, where it was implemented by the Kenya Urban Roads Authority. The 3.58 billion project features an approximately 800-meter elevated dual carriageway designed to separate through traffic on Ngong Road from vehicles accessing Naivasha Road and Kingara Road, significantly easing congestion and reducing travel times. The project also incorporates pedestrian walkways, cycling lanes, modern street lighting, and improved drainage infrastructure. We now move on to other news. Women have been urged to take up leadership positions that have traditionally been viewed as male-dominated. This was the message that dominated the conversation during the installation of the new Rotary Club of Stony Athi. President-elect Harriet Ndege, who called on women to break stereotypes and confidently pursue decision-making roles. In her speech, she committed to strengthening partnerships, expanding community outreach, and providing leadership that not only amplifies the need of society but also delivers practical solutions.
Over the years, we've had several women leading our club, and that speaks volume already, because means we support women. We are giving women the lead. Women come up with the goals, that come up with the vision, and they are the same women who implement them.
My message, especially to young women, is not to shy away from leadership positions, because there's very many ways it can build you up. Because you find that the society, women are looked upon, with inability to undertake certain tasks.
I notice women take leadership from a different angle. We look at things generally.
As members, we want to encourage that. We want to encourage as many of the ladies to come on board. If anything, actually, we're having a challenge trying to motivate the men to come and take their responsibility.
Well, that report brings us to our first break here on Lunchtime News. Don't go too far, we still have more news coming up.
Wakenya, ni wakati mwingine wa kuhakikisha kuwa umefile KRA returns. Je, uko rada una challenge yoyote? Usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC Channel 1 wanakuja hapo ulipo kusaidia kufile returns na kulipia ushuru wako. Jiunge na msafara wa KRA Roadshow, uwe fiti mambo ya returns. Tarehe 29 mwezi Juni msafara wa KRA utadunda Migori Town CBD. Kisha tuingie Rongo Town, tupenyeze hadi Awendo Market, Uriri Stage, Kehancha Market, Isebania Border Point, Kuria Market, Mtimaru Market, Suna Stage, alafu tumalizie Muhuru Bay Market. Tarehe 30 Juni kwa mlangoni. Usingoje hadi dakika za mwisho, file KRA returns mapema. Ishi bila stress, jijue, jibeta. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
Welcome back. This is Lunchtime News. A section of dock workers is rallying behind Kenya Ports Authority Managing Director Captain William Ruto, defending him against corruption allegations over a disputed 8 billion shilling road project. The workers have taken a swipe at Nyali Member of Parliament Mohammed Ali for alleging through his social media platforms that the KPA boss was involved in irregularities in the award of a tender to construct an 800-meter road at the port. The Dock Workers Union members said the allegations lacked evidence and were intended to tarnish the reputation of the authority and its management. The group urged individuals with evidence of corruption to report the matter to investigate agencies including the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission instead of making allegations on social media.
If you don't take caution, because the trend that we are seeing now is dangerous. There is a bad trend on the social media. Politicians are just talking anyhow.
Tungeomba wewe kama mbunge, peleka mswada bungeni. Ukiona bungeni haiendi, tuko na hii mkono wa kuchunguza mambo ya ufisadi. EACC hiko.
Wale wanajaribu kuingisha mambo yao pale katika bandari ya Mombasa. Tunawaomba tafadhali, pale hakuna siasa. Ile iko pale ni kufanya kazi.
And now we take you back to the newly commissioned Ngong Road, Naivasha Road flyover in Nairobi, where the president is addressing members of the public. Let's listen in.
Watawacha kusumbuliwa na jam kwa sababu tunataka Nairobi itembee. Tuendelee ama tuendelee? Hapa Talanta. Nyinyi mnajua kuna barabara ambayo tumeanza ya kuunganisha Ngong Road na ile Southern Bypass. Ndio watu wasihangaike wakati watakuja kuendelea na michezo hapa Talanta. Hiyo pesa tumeweka bilioni 3 ya kujenga hiyo barabara na contractor tayari yuko pale. Nataka kuitengeneza. Vile tuko na project nyingine ya kuunganisha Bomas of Kenya na hii Talanta. Tuhakikisha kwamba Nairobi inatembea. Ni kweli ama si kweli bwana? Tubadilishe Nairobi ama tusibadilishe? Nimewatangazia. Tuko na barabara nyingi hapa Nairobi bado ni ya matope. Tuko na barabara nyingi hapa Nairobi zimeharibika. Na ndio mimi nimetoa pesa ya serikali kusema ili tubadilishe sura ya Nairobi. Lazima hii Nairobi ioneshane sura ya taifa letu la Kenya. Wageni wakikuja Kenya wanakuja Nairobi. Ile sura wanabeba ya Nairobi ndio watafikiria kwamba ndio sura ya Kenya. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Sababu hiyo nimefanya kazi na hao wabunge wenu, nimefanya kazi na huyu gavana wetu, na tumekubaliana ya kwamba kilomita 70 mpya ya Nairobi katika kila sehemu tunamaliza, iko 85%. Kuna kilomita ingine 60 ambayo tumepatiana procurement, makontractor wanaendelea. Kuna kilomita ingine 70 mimi natangaza kandarasi yake wiki hii. Tuhakikishe ya kwamba kilomita 220 Nairobi katika kila kitongoji, katika kila ward, na MCAs wetu wako hapa. Hawa MCAs wamenipatia barabara zao, ndio tuhakikishe kila ward ya Nairobi tunawatengenezea barabara. Hakuna ward ambaye tutawacha nyuma. Tunataka tutembee tukiwa pamoja. Nairobi hoye! Tuendelee ama tuendelee? Munasema tuendelee ama tuendelee? Mimi nataka niwaeleze vile vile watu wa Nairobi. Kuna miji hapa Nairobi. Kuna sehemu za Nairobi bado zinaishi kwa giza. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Kuna miji ama sehemu 9 hapa Nairobi ambazo ziko katika ndani ya giza. Stima yao ilikatwa. Mimi nataka niwatangazie, kwa hii budget nimesaini juzi, hiyo budget tumeweka hapo bilioni 2 ya kuhakikisha wale watu wanaishi Kosovo, wale watu wanaishi katika Kiambu, wale watu wanaishi pale Hospital Ward, wale watu wanaishi kule Madare ambao hawana stima, tuwawekee stima waishi kama watu wengine wa Nairobi County. Nairobi hoye! Ninyi mnanielewa jameni? Mnasema tuendelee? Mnasema tuendelee na hiyo kazi? Tuendelee ama tuendelee? Sikizeni watu wa Nairobi. Hii Nairobi ilikuwa inasumbuliwa na slums, ni kweli ama si kweli? Wananchi wengi wa Nairobi walikuwa wanaishi mahali hakuna stima, hakuna maji, hakuna usafi, hakuna barabara, hakuna maneno hiyo yote. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Mimi nimesema kama wewe unalipa shilingi 2,000 kuwa na nyumba, wewe utaendelea kulipa 2,000 na mimi nitakujengea nyumba ya gorofa. Wewe uishi pale, usonge mbele kama mwananchi wengine. Nairobi hoye! Kuna watu wengine, watu ambao hawana akili, wanasema ya kwamba wanataka wananchi wa Nairobi waendelee kukaa kwa slums, waendelee kukaa mahali hakuna stima, hakuna choo, hakuna maji, hakuna barabara. Wale watu ni mafala ama si mafala? Wale watu ni mafala ama si mafala? Watu wanasema watakuja kusimamisha housing. Wale watu ni wazembe sana bana. Wale watu ni mafala sana wale. Bure kabisa. Sijui kama tunaelewana watu wa Nairobi. Nairobi hoye! Sikizeni watu wa Nairobi. Hii Nairobi City. Hii Nairobi City. Ile manyumba tunajenga Nairobi City saa hizi zinaendelea ni nyumba 75,000 ya watu wa Nairobi. Tuko na nyumba zingine 50,000 tumeipangia. Budget tumeweka ya Nairobi County ni zaidi ya bilioni 170 kubadilisha city ya Nairobi. Residents wa city wa Nairobi watakuwa wanaishi mahali kuna heshima, kuna maji, kuna stima na kuna usafi. Kwa sababu sura ya Nairobi ndio sura ya Kenya. Hapa Nairobi tunajenga soko 17 mpya inaendelea. Hapa Nairobi tunajenga hostels ya vijana wetu, universities zote, KMTC zote. Vijana 6,000 wa Nairobi. Wale vijana wanasoma hapa Nairobi tunawajengea hostels. Kwa sababu tunataka vijana waishi mahali pazuri, wasome vizuri, wakuje watusaidie kusukuma Kenya yetu mbele. Mimi nawauliza watu wa Nairobi. Mimi niliwaambia watu wa Nairobi tutawajengea masoko. Saa hizi pale Kigomba tunaendelea kujenga soko. Kuna watu wengine walienda kuambia watu wa Kigomba ati tusijenge soko. Na soko ni mahali ambapo inafanya biashara ya wananchi. Na wale walienda kuambia watu wa Kigomba ati tusijenge soko ni watu hawafanyi biashara Kigomba, hawanunui Kigomba, ni watu wananunua hapa Karen, watu wananunua kule kwa The Hub, watu wanaenda kule sijui Sarit Center. Alafu unaenda kumwambia mwananchi anakaa Kigomba ati tusijenge
tusimjengee soko. Kwani unawabeba wananchi ufala kiasi gani? Wala watu ni bure sana bwana. Sio kama tunaelewana. Nairobi hoye! Nijenge Kikombani sijenge bwana. Na mimi nataka niwaambie, imebaki miezi 4, mimi naenda kufungua soko ya Kikomba, iko tayari. The first one. Hiyo ni phase 1 na nitabadilisha hiyo dunia yote mpaka hii Kenya ibadilike. Na ndio mimi nawauliza ndugu zangu, watu wa Nairobi, watu wa Kanairo, na wauliza kwa unyenyekevu, msikubali watu ambao hawana agenda, hawana mpango, hawana maono, ati kazi yao ni matusi, ati kazi yao ni ukabila, ati kazi yao ni chuki, ati kazi yao ni vipindi, ati kazi yao ni fitina. Watuletee fitina taifa letu la Kenya. Watu wa Nairobi tunaelewana jameni? Nairobi si ni ya Wakenya wote? Ni yetu sisi zote ama si yetu sisi zote? Hapa Nairobi ndio Kenya. Na ndio mimi nataka mniwaulize kwa unyenyekevu, msikubali watu ambao wanataka kutukawanya kwa misingi ya kabila. Tunataka tuungane, tushirikiane, tujenge Nairobi tukiwa pamoja. Ni kweli ama si kweli my friends? Mnasema tuungane ama tutengane Nairobi? Tuungane ama tutengane? Wala wanasema tuungane Nairobi hii nione kwa mkono, wala wanasema tuungane. Si ndio? Tuendelee namna hiyo. Mimi nawauliza Nairobi, nijenge hizi barabara, niunganishe stima, tujenge Talanta, tujenge Bomas, tupange mambo ya kilimo, tupange mambo ya kazi, tufanye Nairobi River Regeneration, tufanye hiyo kazi yote, SHA iendelee kuwatibu, na tupange dunia isonge mbele. Hebu nione wana wanasema tupangane pamoja. Basi mimi nawauliza watu wa Nairobi. Nyinyi watu wa Nairobi, si nyinyi ndio mnaamua viongozi Kenya hii? Si nyinyi wananchi ndio mnaamua viongozi Kenya hii? Si mnaamua hatima ya MCA? Si mnaamua ya mbunge, ya gavana, si mnaamua ya rais? Nyinyi ndio mtaamua. Mimi nawauliza, saa ile mnaamua kiongozi, mnaamua kwa sababu ya sura yake ama kazi amefanya? Ni kazi ya masura? Ni kazi ya makabila? Ni kazi ya mafitina? Ni kazi ya matusi? Si ni kazi ya mtu ndio itamuokoa? Si kila mtu aseme kazi yake amefanya? Ni kweli ama si kweli? Si mimi niko hapa, si kuna kazi mimi nimefanya? Si watoto wetu nimewasomesha? Walimu 1,100 nimeandika? Si nimepanga mambo ya barabara? Si nimepanga mambo ya stima? Si nimepanga mambo ya housing? Si nimepanga mambo ya market? Si kila mtu akuje na kazi yake bwana? Ama namna gani? Na wale wa matusi na fitina pia watafutiwe ratili ya kupima fitina na matusi, tuone itakuwa kilo ngapi. Sio kama tunaelewana my friends? Nairobi hoye! Nairobi hoye! Sikizeni my friend, nimalizie. Wacha nimalizie. Sindio? Mimi nawauliza kwa unyenyekevu. Sawa sawa? Wale majamaa walijaribu kutuletea fujo Nairobi juzi. Mimi nawashukuru watu wa Nairobi, nawashukuru vijana wa Nairobi, nawashukuru wafanyabiashara wa Nairobi. Mulikataa fujo Nairobi hii, mukakataa maandamano ya kuharibu mali ya wananchi Nairobi hii, mukakataa fitina ya fujo ambayo inaharibu biashara Nairobi hii. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Nikasikia jamaa mwingine anasema ati kwa sababu watu hawakwenda kazini ati maandamano imefaulu. Na mjamaa amezunguka Kenya hii miaka 50, ametangatanga, hakuna kazi amefanya. Sasa anataka ati Wakenya hao wote wakose nafasi ya kufanya kazi. Wewe my friend, vile umekosa kazi ya kufanya for 60 years ama 50 years, watana na Wakenya waende kazini. Kila mtu anataka kuendesha asili yake, tubadilishe uchumi, tusongeshe Kenya mbele. Mwisho, Nairobi, sijui kama tunaelewana. Si nyinyi ndio mtaamua next year? Ni mtaamua next year? Si mtaamua rais next year? Si mtaamua governor next year? Muko tayari ama muko tayari? Muko tayari ama muko tayari? Sikizeni bana. Wale majamaa wanajaribu kushindana na mimi.
Sema na majua. Wale majamaa mnawajua. Maono hawana. Agenda hawana. Sera hawana. Mpango hawana. Sera hawana. Hata akili. Kumbe mnawajua. Wale majamaa mnawajua. Ati maono, ati agenda, ati mpango, ati sera, ati kazi, hata akili. Salala. Wale watu ni mafala wa mwisho. Nairobi hoye. Kwa hivyo nyinyi watu wa Nairobi mnasemaje? Ati Nairobi mnasemaje? Ati Nairobi mnasemaje? Ati Nairobi mnasemaje? Hebu nione tutam ya watu wa Nairobi, nione tutam. Hii kitu ni mbaya bwana. Hii ni mbaya. Hii ni mbaya. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Wacha nimuite gavana wetu atusalimie. Salama hapo kama. Haya. Nairobi oye. Kusalimini kwa hiyo, kusalimini kwa hiyo kama unanisikia. Wapi mbekse ya rais? Wapi mbekse ya rais? Tunashukuru rais vile ametushikilia. Your Excellency kama gavana wa Nairobi. Wananchi mimi nawapenda sana. Si mnajua nawapenda. Na walombo tu sana. Na mimi nakuanga na hao. Na walishia watoto wao kila siku kwa shule na shilingi 5. Si ni kweli? Sisi tunakushukuru rais, leo umesaini pesa ya kwenda kwa counties. Lakini hata kwa hiyo pesa Nairobi ikipata 20, hii mpangilio yetu ya cooperation inanipatia bilioni 80 ya mabarabara, ya mataa. Siku hizi kwa hospitali zetu kuna madawa kila siku, si kweli? Mnaambia rais aje? Mnaambia rais aje? Na Sakaja mnaambia aje? Ya Sakaja iko wapi? Mimi leo sasa mambo mingi. Your Excellency, thank you for this road. Na pia zile mimi ambazo tunafanya pamoja. Last week nilipatia bilioni nyingine 2 ya kutengeneza drainage ili ikinyesha watu wasipate shida. This was the formula that Nairobi needed. Cooperation between Nairobi and the national government. Na hiyo cooperation imechukua 14 years, we are late. Hiyo ndio itatusaidia tusonge mbele.
Well, those live pictures are from the commissioning of Ngong Road, Naivasha Road, where President William Ruto was speaking to members of the public. At the same time, we saw Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja. We shall be bringing you an updated report in our subsequent bulletins. For now, we move on. Mogo has financed more than 500,000 smartphones across East Africa, with over 200,000 devices financed in Kenya through the Lipa Mdogo Mdogo payment plan. The company says the milestone reflects growing demand for affordable smartphone financing as consumers seek flexible payment options amid rising living costs. Speaking during the announcement of Mogo, Kenya Sales Operations Manager Fred Moke said customers can complete a fully digital application and walk away with a smartphone within minutes. The company has partnered with smartphone brands including Tecno, Infinix, Itel and Oppo to expand access to affordable devices. Industry players say the financing model is helping improve digital inclusion by enabling more Kenyans, including students and small businesses owners, to own smartphones through flexible daily installments.
OEMs, hence giving our customers choices when they're selecting the device of their preference.
Technology is a new thing in the market, and it will give the consumer or mobile user an opportunity to buy and be able to coordinate with the world, interact with friends, family. It will improve their social life and their social behavior.
Financing saiko juu kampuni kama Mogo hivi ime-enhance hata kama mtu hakuwa na afford kubuy cash, Sasa hivi wamekam na affordable ways za kusaidia hata kama mtu wa chini ku get your smartphone.
You could be consuming bushmeat without knowing. The Kenya Wildlife Service say the consumption of game meat is becoming widespread and now threatens Kenya's wildlife. To curb the vice, this service has embarked on a nationwide community engagement campaign, educating the public and redefining conservation from one that is driven by enforcement and confrontation to one built on dialogue and community partnership. And as our reporter John Kahiro now reports, the initiative is also changing how uniformed officers interact with the communities they serve.
Hatutaki mambo ya kukula hiyo wanyama pori.
Nowadays, poaching imefanyika mpaka uweze kuwapata.
The rich yet delicate Kenya's wildlife ecosystem continues to face mounting pressure, ranging from persistent human-wildlife conflicts, illegal poaching, to shrinking habitats.
Most of the wildlife, including the hippos, have been displaced their riparian land where they used to graze. Therefore, issues of human-wildlife conflict, electrocution, poaching, and going on.
But beyond this, a more complex crisis is silently unfolding: the growing consumption of bushmeats.
There is a rise in hotspot counties, and these counties are Kilifi, they are Kwale, Tana River, Taita County, Kajiado, Kitui, Narok, and Nakuru.
And for years, the conservation language has been more of enforcement, yet these challenges are still pushing the natural biodiversity to the brink.
Nyati walikuwa pa wengi, hata hipo walikuwa pa wengi, tukija hapo ulikuwa unawapata hapa. Lakini siku hizi huwezi kuwapata.
Some people are a bit ignorant of the law. They don't know what the law says about wildlife consumption, about bushmeat hunting, transportation, and all those ones. So we come to the ground because, again, we need community policing. They are the people on the ground. They are our ears on the ground. They inform us of suspicious activities that go on. So we need to create a rapport with them.
It is for this reason that the Kenya Wildlife Service is changing tack and is embracing a new strategy, one that is now prioritizing dialogue over confrontation and partnership over policing.
We would want to use this platform because we are able to reach a wider population. We are able to reach many people. They will be able to engage with us. We interact with them, and they actually report that there are bad people among them.
Dubbed the anti-bushmeat campaign, the Kenya Wildlife Service officers are now sweeping through villages, centers and towns in proximity to the wildlife, engaging communities through public forums and hoping to change attitudes towards conservation.
Tujawahi kuona, lakini siku ya leo wamekuja kutuonyesha na kutuelimisha sisi vile tunakaa na wanyama pori.
By replacing fear with dialogue, the officers are now helping communities understand the environmental, legal and health consequences of consuming the meat from wild animals.
So what we are telling them is that they need to report these incidences to KWS officials so that in case any wildlife has caused damage either to the farm or to human injury, they make the necessary reporting so that the necessary measures are taken for them to be able to fill the forms for compensation, and the process of then compensating them starts.
Juu sikuwa najua kama wanaweza kuja hapa watu waambie venye nyama wapori wanakuanga, lakini naye sisi naye tunafanya na hawa wanyama wapori, tunafurahi na tunakuanga na hao kila siku hapa.
The KWS officers who have traversed the hotspot counties of Kajiado, Narok and lately Nakuru are seeking to ensure the future of wildlife will not only be secured inside protected parks, but in the hearts and actions of the people living alongside them. From health, legal to environmental implications, the ripple effects of poaching and the consumption of bushmeat cannot be ignored. Through sustained community engagement, the Kenya Wildlife Service seeks to educate the public on the importance of wildlife conservation. For Channel 1 News from Kikope in Gilgil, Nakuru County, my name is John Kahiro.
Retail investors can now own a stake in premium commercial real estate following the listing of the terrific green USD income rate on the Nairobi Security Exchange Investment Promotion. Principal Secretary Abubakar Hassan says the listing deepens Kenyan's capital markets by connecting domestic and international investors to green infrastructure projects through a regulated investment vehicle.
3, 2, 1. Let the bell go. There you go. Let's appreciate the moment, everybody. Asante sana. That's it.
The listing comes as Kenya seeks to catalyze its capital markets by expanding investment products beyond traditional stocks and bonds, giving investors more options to diversify their portfolios while unlocking long-term financing for infrastructure and real estate.
So this successful establishment of the terrific IREIT is a very important step in that journey. It unlocks the capital we need for future development while providing investors with an important opportunity to participate in the growth of one of Kenya's most exciting mixed-use developments.
It is our hope, ladies and gentlemen, that today's success inspires more issuers to consider our market as a strategic source of long-term funding. And we encourage developers, infrastructure sponsors, international investors and entrepreneurs to view the NSE not simply as a marketplace, but as a long-term partner in your growth.
That when innovation is matched with robust governance, strong partnerships, and disciplined execution, investors will always respond. There's enough capital pool in this nation. We don't need to look capital elsewhere.
As Kenya's first US dollar-denominated green income rate, the investment introduces a sustainable financing model to the local market, allowing investors to invest in income-generating commercial property without having to purchase an entire building.
Each successful transaction increases confidence, each innovation attracts new investors, and each listing encourages the next issuer. And that then enables us to have a market that is a lot more attractive.
All these are tools for us to serve our people, to be able to enable them to have a platform where they can have jobs. And because our economy is not large enough, we must connect our economy to the global economy.
Investment Promotion Principal Secretary Abubakar Hassan says the listing is expected to spark greater participation in the rate market and encourage more property developers to tap the capital markets to finance large-scale projects.
My State Department goal is to increase, or the agenda, is to increase the level of private investment into the Kenyan economy, whether it is new or existing which is being reinvested, whether it's domestic or foreign, whether it is directly through direct investment or indirectly through such kind of portfolio investment, whether you want to invest in us or invest with us through public-private partnership.
Trevor Ngendo for Lunchtime News.
Now, as cyber criminals have become more sophisticated, many attacks are no longer targeting computers, they're targeting people. We are joined by Christopher Kayere, a certified cybersecurity professional and coordinator of the Kenya Cybersecurity and Forensics Association, to discuss cyber psychology, human hacking, and how to protect ourselves from online fraud. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Right, now just start us off perhaps, what is cyber psychology and why is it becoming increasingly important?
Thank you for this opportunity, Jackie. At least it's a good time to enlighten Kenyans on this matter, cybersecurity. Nowadays, hackers are no longer focusing on the real machine. They are now focusing on your mind. Now, when you talk about cyber psychology, it's about the study of how human emotions, decisions influence how we interact with the computers and how we react to cyber threats. Then when you talk of human hacking, is now how the hackers now take advantage of this human aspect to hack the systems.
Now, why are people often the weakest link in cyber security?
We are wired to receive. We are wired to gain. Now, let me use an example of these free things that you usually see on the internet to answer that question. Like, we are wired to receive, to gain, and to get things. So the moment you see an offer somewhere, maybe you do this and this, then you get this money, quick money. That one, our mind triggers the release of dopamine hormone, which makes us to feel happy, and that hormone clouds the reasoning, the logical reasoning. Then we just become happy, and now once the logical reasoning has been suspended, we can't think about anything else. We just go ahead and fall victim of those attacks.
Perhaps how do cyber criminals manipulate emotions like fear, urgency, or trust to deceive their victims?
All right. As a hacker, I've seen that this is the company I'm going to hack, or this is the victim or the person I'm going to hack. I'm going to collect information about my target. Now, for this case, maybe it might be you. After now getting some information about you, I now move to the second phase. The first phase is information gathering about the target. The next phase is what we call the cyber grooming. Cyber grooming is where now I create or I establish a trust between me and the victim. Once the trust has been established, then I'll come up with something that will entice you. Maybe if it is money, if you love money, if you love football, so I'll come up with something that aligns with what you really want at that particular point.
Yeah. And perhaps who is most vulnerable to online fraud, or can anyone become a victim? Everyone is a victim, actually. And for this case, it depends with what you need. Because hackers, they employ the psychological triggers, like the aspect of urgency. They use also stress, authority. So for this case, let's take an example of a young man who wants to be rich. So the hackers will come up with maybe a system to the forex one to trade. So they give you the coins, the initial offer coins, to do what? To attract you, actually, to persuade you. Once you are persuaded that this is the right place for me to invest, you go ahead and deposit your money. You are assured that after some time you're going to gain big money. And of course, now dopamine comes in. Oh, I'm going to be rich. Then at the end of the day, you'll be conned. So everyone can be hackable. Let me just say so. So how can individuals protect themselves from online fraud?
Now, all scams, all hacking, they have one thing in common: pressure. The moment a message comes in, there's an aspect of urgency. There's an aspect of, at the end of the day, you'll gain this. So instead of now rushing to make those decisions, before you click on any link that comes along your way, stop first, think, then proceed. That's the best way. Now that hackers are now focusing on our mind, they're no longer focusing on computers. Yeah.
Perhaps what role do businesses and organizations play in protecting employees from human hacking?
Of course, they do carry out cyber security awareness training, but that one is not working at all. Why? Because they treat human being as machines. You are given a guide, create a strong password, do this and this, but they are not given the real thing. So some of these businesses, they do awareness training. Some of them, they employ or they deploy the strongest cybersecurity measures that can be deployed, but at the end of the day, even training is not enough.
So if someone suspects they've been scammed, what should they do immediately as your closing remark?
Within that organization, I believe that there is an IT department that manages all IT issues. Report to them. If it's your individual account, then then depending on the level of what you have been hacked or scammed, you can go in and report to the authorities, or even contact me. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. That was Christopher Kayere, a certified cybersecurity professional and coordinator of the Kenya Cybersecurity and Forensics Association. Now we move on to sports news. Co-host Canada reached the FIFA World Cup round of 16 for the first time in their history after Steven Sturcker struck a dramatic stoppage time winner to seal a 1-0 victory over South Africa in Los Angeles. Steven fired a superb low shot from the edge of the penalty area in the second minute of added time to end a tightly contested match and send the Canadians into the knockout stage. South Africa, who had qualified from Group A, struggled to threaten and managed just one shot on target before bowing out of the tournament. Canada will now face either Morocco or the Netherlands in the round of 16 in Houston,